Hi, Chris. What I want to do is I'm going to take you through sort of start to finish on how to get the site open and then get to the instructions. So I think we're probably getting hung up on the zip file. So right here where it says, here's a link to download your updated template, click that link. It should fire up a web browser and take you to this page right here. Okay. Now everybody's web browser is set up to download files a little bit differently, but basically what you want to do is click right here, the download link. Okay, it's going to open up, or it could open up a new page, waiting for Google Docs. And then right up here, and this is, I'm using Firefox. Um, I'm just going to click on the download here. There's the website.zip. You can, your browser will have a download, so you might go to I just want to see where it's file, edit, tools. Maybe under the tools menu in your browser, you'll have a downloads, and it's going to show you where your downloads are. Okay. What I'm going to suggest you do is take wherever your browser downloads your website.zip file to, drag it onto your desktop. So let me just minimize this for a second here, and this as well. Go find that file in your browser where it downloaded it to and drag it onto your desktop. Okay, I already have it there because my files automatically go to my desktop. Okay, and once it's there, you'll have a file called website.zip. Okay, you have to extract this file first because it's a compressed single zip file. So what you do is you just right click on it and look for an option to extract. Now I have several options because I have a program installed on my computer called WinRAR, and it gives me different options. If you're just using regular Windows, it'll say extract here or extract to. Okay, so let's just do extract to website here, and a little file is going to pop up. So I just had to pause the video there for a second. We go extract to website, and then a little program is going to fire up in your computer here, extracting the files into a new folder. And because we put the website.zip file on our desktop, it's going to create a new folder on our desktop. So I'm just going to go and grab that folder and drag it into view. And there it is right there. It's a folder called website, right? So I'm going to double click on the folder now to open it up. It opens up there. There's our website folder. I'm going to click into that. And this is our updated website. Now, I suggested you use Expression Web 4, so I sent you a package for Expression Web 4. When I'm talking about the web editor from Microsoft. And here's what you can do. You can now right-click on any one of these pages. I'll use the index page as an example. You can right-click on it and go Edit with Microsoft Expression Web 4. So as long as you right-click on one of the pages, it will actually open up the website in the editor. All right, I'm just going to move this into the view of the video here. Right there. Now, usually when you open up Expression Web for the first time, it will have a bunch of panels open. It'll probably look more like this. Okay. We don't use a lot of these panels, at least not in the start. So I like to shut them down. So I just close them off. And I close that off where the little X is. It says close all. You can click that. There's a little X right there, close all. And now you're left with the main window and you're left with the folder list. Okay. And this is where you have the instructions page. And I also sent you a link to the instructions. Okay. And it's the Trinity instructions. And when you download those instructions, there's going to be a Microsoft.html page. Click that to open, and you'll go right to the instructions page here. And this is where I think you click on the getting started. It'll take you to this place right here. And you can now go to the, we've just done the installation. Now you can go to the planning and preparation part right here. So if we just click on this link right here where it says product components, this is a good place to start and get familiar with doing some things within your website. Now here's what I'm going to suggest, and I suggest this for everybody, is we've downloaded and we've created a website folder here. Inside the website folder is our site. Don't treat this as your website that you're going to build right now. Give it a couple of hours and mess around in it. Go through some of the instructions and take a look at how things update and work within Expression Web and how to update the site. And I'm going to show you some things right now of how the site is sort of put together to help you figure things out. I'm going to open up the sitemap page, and whenever you start working on a page in your site, when you're working on content or updating something within your site, I always preview the page in my browser first. I select the page, sitemap. I go to my little preview tab right here, or I go to File, Preview and Browser, and I select a browser. My favorite browser is Firefox or Chrome. Stay away from Internet Explorer while testing and building. Internet Explorer is fine for viewing live websites. It's a terrible web developer's tool, though, because it caches your pages on your local computer. So even though you make updates, they don't always show through when you're using Internet Explorer. And I mean when you're making updates locally to an unpublished website. So use Firefox or Chrome. All right, I'm going to preview the sitemap page in Firefox. Now there's elements within the page that are common to all pages in your site. And because they're common, meaning every single page uses them, we have something called library assets. They're actually called include pages, or that's what they are. So when we update a library asset, it updates every single page in your site. And let me show you how this works. The telephone number. Let's say you want to change that. Well, the telephone number is available in all of the pages within your site. If I go to the page 1 as an example, there it is there. Well, instead of you having to go through and update the phone number 47 times, right, once for each page, you go to the library and expand that folder. You go to the shared, you expand that folder. And right down here is the phone.htm. I'm going to double click it, and all it is simply a bit of text on the page. Now this bit of text is inserted into every single web page within your site. This one little piece of page is inserted into every other page in your site. So when we right click on the telephone number and we select hyperlink properties, right, now you can change the text. So we're going to go 555-123-4567 for the phone number. And we're going to do the same thing down here. This is for mobile users, so they can click on it with their finger. 555-123-4567. Right? And the instructions show you how to do this anyways. We click OK, and then we just go File, Save. Okay? It's requesting data. It's actually going to take a few seconds to save, and now it's done at saving because the little asterisk that was up here before, like as soon as I make a change, you see the little asterisk here. That asterisk says that the page has not been saved, right? But let's go back to our live page we have here. I'm going to refresh it, and it should show, there it is. There's the new phone number. And if I go to any other page in our site now, you'll see that the phone number has been changed. Go to the contact page. The phone number is now changed. It's now saying 123-4567. So that's one of the really cool things. And you can almost figure out by reading the name of the include pages what they actually do. But I'm going to show you right now just to sort of help you get through the learning process. The telephone number, that's the one I just showed you. It's called phone.htm. These links right here, these 3 links here are the text links. We open that up, home, contact, about. When you want to change a hyperlink, that is a piece of text that links to another page or another website, what you do is you put you select the piece of text, you right click on it, at least this is how it works in Expression Web, and then you select hyperlink properties. There's the name you can change, so you can go Chris, whatever you want to call that link, and down here you can change it to a full website address, or you can scroll through and find a page in your site to link to, right? So you can type in HTTP, www.twitter.com, for example, or you can just go and find the page within your site by browsing around, selecting the page, and clicking OK, right? You see it says textlinks.htm with little asterisks up here, right up at the end of the M there. That means the page needs to be saved. So you just go File, Save, or Control-S on your keyboard, right? It may take a few seconds to save, and you can go back to your live page. You can just click the refresh button or reload button, and Chris contact about. Okay, let's move on. I'll go a little bit faster now. I'm just going to show you which include pages control which elements on the page on your actual web pages, and then when you go to read the instructions, it'll make a little bit more sense. Okay, this icon right here for your logo, it's in the graphic logo page, and we have to flip it to code view, and here it is right here. It is called a Font Awesome icon, and there's a link in the instructions to talk more about Font Awesome. Basically, it's a font that we use using the icon tag, and that is the name of the icon being displayed right there. Page lines, that's the actual name of the icon. And we get that from a place called Font Awesome. So if we fire up our Font Awesome, so we fire up our web browser, we search for Font Awesome, and Font Awesome comes up as a top link. And then we can go to their website and look for go to the icons tab. And these are all the different icons we can now use that are pre-designed and we can insert into our web pages. Okay, so there's a lot of cool looking stuff in here you can use. If you want to have a little icon of some sort to represent a certain element, especially being, electrical, there's stuff in here that, you can sort of search or look for that may be really representative of a title or something you're looking for. Now, honestly, most people are just going to remove this icon. They're just going to scrub over it like so and delete it because you don't really need it in your web page. Okay, so if I were to save that and go back to my my site here and just refresh, now it's gone. Okay, Trinity Web and making awesome websites for you. That's the website name. So if I open this up, I can put it back in design view. Trinity Web, you can scrub over this. You can then right click, select hyperlink properties, type in the text that you want to be displayed. Something like that. And then the tagline. That's that little piece of text underneath. Once again, you can just scrub over it. And this is not a hyperlink, so you can just type in whatever you want right here. And that would show up right down here and right here. Now the social icons, I'll show you where to edit those. I won't show you how because there's a tutorial for that. But here's the social icons. You can't see them in the page, so you have to flip to code view. And I'm just going to make a little bit more room here. Facebook, Twitter, Google, Tumblr, and Yelp. They're Font Awesome icons. So you'd have to change the name of the link right here. And this is where you would change the name of the actual icon right here based on what you find on the Font Awesome website. Now, if you don't have any social networks set up, what you can do, you can even do this from design view, is just put your cursor in the page, do edit, select all, and press delete on your keyboard. And that's it. Then you'll have no social networking buttons to worry about. And if I go back here and refresh, it should probably just remove them from the page altogether. Okay, here we have a search, and here we have the menu top. Okay, so going back to our folder list, here is the Google search, and we'll get into that. This is all strictly a code update, and the tutorial shows you how to go and create a new search for your own site. And the menu top is right here, and basically it's a bullet list with the text like I mentioned earlier. If you select it and you do hyperlink properties, then you can change the name of the text, and you can also select whatever page you want to link that particular button to. So you can add or remove as many new buttons as you want to, and I have a more detailed video in the instructions on how to do that as well. Okay. Now finally, if we scroll down here, we have our footer and copyright section, and that would be this area right here and the copyright down here. So if you just open up the footer, that's the name, that's the website name, and if you open up the copyright, that's the piece of text. And it's all just text related at this point pretty much. You can just change the text in these include pages and you're good. Now that's the general overview of how a web template is put together. Things that are used over and over again, They're global assets or global includes. You can change them within that library folder, save, and they get updated across the board. Now, each individual page in your site also has some special features, right? And that's where we have this getting started components by page, right? You can go through some of the individual pages, and you can, we start here. We start with the index page. There's some special components on the index page with their own videos showing you how to make changes, right? And then there's the home page alternate, right? And then it goes through each individual page of your site that requires any special information, like changing certain pieces of the page that may be more than just changing text on the page itself. If there's a carousel or something really cool like that, the video instructions will show you how to go through and make those updates. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up on how to get into the site and have the template open in Expression Web, and then sort of maybe how it's put together, and then you know, how to use the instructions. And of course, don't try to, I mean, I suggest to everybody, if this is your first time, mess it up. Get in there, play around with things, try to get something to update. Don't try to build your main website right off the bat. Just try to play around with the template to get a feel for how things work. Then you can get into, you can extract, you already have a zip file, you can just extract it again. It'll create a new folder in your desktop or overwrite the existing one. And then you can actually get in there when you're a little bit comfortable working with Expression Web and you understand how things work a little bit. Then you can get in there and start building your actual website.